in this field. So I just want to put it to you. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a thought out strategy here. It's more like reflective, kind of a reflex rather than thinking it through. I mean, after Afghanistan and Iraq and all the other wars beforehand that have occurred, it just seems to me that the only winners here are those that are making money out of war.
Well, they may make money this time. Whether or not they'll come out unscathed is another matter, but your basic point is correct. We have no strategy per se. Strategy assumes that you ask critical questions. What is the purpose of what I'm doing? Is my method, my use of military power, going to achieve my desired goal? And when I'm through, what do I want things to look like? In other words, what's the end state I'm seeking? I don't see any of that happening. What I see instead is impulse and emotion, and the thinking that if we do enough damage, we will, quote unquote, get our way. This is foolish nonsense. And the first thing that springs to mind was the decision by the British to go into World War I, which made absolutely no sense strategically whatsoever, cost the British almost 1 million dead and certainly more than 2 million casualties. What was the purpose? To defeat Germany? What are we defeating Germany for? Germany wasn't even an enemy at that point. Germany posed no threat, as the chief of the Admiralty said. It's the same thing. It's emotion. And I think they had some other ideas. Oh, well, this will help employment. And if we don't do this, our successor administration or government will do it anyway. So why not do it? I mean, these are the stupid ideas that drove the British Empire into World War I. We're not even that sophisticated, in my judgment. People don't seem to think there's any danger. They seem to think that America will sail through unscathed, and we won't. There are enormous dangers to us, not the least of which is that the price of oil will go to $7 a gallon for gasoline. It's already up over $75 a barrel. It's very easy to cause these commodities to go berserk into the outer stratosphere. That's going to hurt working families. It's going to disrupt our supply chains. And eventually everything we want is going to be a lot more expensive. It's a bad situation. And for some reason, we're setting all that aside on the assumption that, well, we'll bomb and our presumed enemy in Tehran will fall apart. And get on his knees and beg forgiveness. It's crazy.
Is that picture you paint, is that because the Iranians would immediately hit, I think there's 30 or 40,000 US Army personnel, military personnel around the Gulf, around the Straits of Hormuz in particular, that they could block that? I mean, is that why you see oil prices going so high?
Well, no, it's not just the losses it will take. We're certainly going to lose some people, but I've just been told that we have successfully evacuated our troops on the ground in Bahrain and the officers that were there in the headquarters. I'm sure we'll try to get as many people as possible out of harm's way. But truthfully, we don't have the air defense capability to defend all of these bases that reach from the Persian Gulf all the way up through Iraq, Syria, and into Jordan. Then, of course, we have who knows how many, 40, 50, 60 vessels at sea, not including the submarines that are out there. And those surface vessels are not invulnerable or invincible by any means. They'll be targets. So I don't think we can be certain that we'll come through this without many losses. I think we probably will. We've already seen F-35s shot down over Iran, and at least one F-35 pilot, an Israeli, is in Iranian hands. I think we're going to see more of that. And of course, that's always difficult once you begin not just losing the lives of U.S. servicemen and women, but when you lose pilots that fall into enemy hands. That's a huge issue. And people here at home are accustomed to bombing with impunity. In other words, for the average American, war is something that happens on someone else's soil. And so most people don't pay much attention. This time, it's going to have an economic and a financial impact. And then we have, an estimated 30 million, 31 million people illegally in the United States, most of whom came into this country over the last 4 years.